Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This is going to be a great segment. And let's get right to it. To my super chat, thank you so much. It is really interesting when you look at the propaganda spin. The propaganda spin changes direction all the time. And first it's, oh my God, there's Russian meddling. Well, how do you know? Well, we're confident, highly confident to moderately confident the DNC was hacked. Oh, okay. Do you have any notification? No. No. I was looking into. Do you have any certainty? Do you have any proof? Any evidence? Well, we never saw the DNC servers, but we relied on CrowdStrike. Okay, so the NSA never got a chance to look at the servers, the servers of the DNC. They never got a chance to actually look at them. No, nobody did. James Comey asked for these servers, and nobody in the United States government was given access. Oh, okay. But, well, who paid for CrowdStrike? Well, Hillary Clinton and the DNC. Oh, okay. Well, how do you know there's an elaborate attempt by Trump to influence the election? Well, we know from the Steele dossier, because Christopher Steele compiled a whole bunch of information from actual Russian intelligence officers. Really? Okay. Who paid for this? Well, Hillary Clinton and the DNC. Oh, that's interesting. Is there any evidence at all? Well, no, but there's a lot of suspicious things. Well, like what? Well, there's a meeting, a Trump Jr. meeting with who? Natalia Veselnitskaya. Is she a Russian spy? No, in fact, Loretta Lynch allowed her into the country with a special visa. Obama's attorney general. Oh, okay. Well, then what's the problem here? Well, but she's Russian. Oh, anyone who Trump Jr. met with have any direct ties to Vladimir Putin? No. Well, then what's the problem? Well, Natalia Veselnitskaya. Yeah, but didn't she meet before and after the meeting with Fusion GPS? Oh, yes. Okay. Then you have the Steele dossier being given to James Comey by Bruce Orr, who's the number 4 at the DOJ under Obama. It's not evidence. It's a dossier purchased by a rival of Trump. There's no evidence. BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. HA's grandma. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Thanks, Granny. Thank you, HA's grandma. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so very much. And so, well, what's the problem now? Well, Russia has something on Trump. Well, how do you know this? Well, the Steele dossier, urination, still hasn't been proven. BuzzFeed is actually suing the DNC. They're getting sued. Fusion GPS is getting sued. Christopher Steele is getting sued. James Comey is fired. Andrew McCabe is fired. Peter Strzok is fired. Bruce Orr is demoted. Other people about 4 or 5 other people in the FBI are being investigated. James Comey is being investigated right now regarding the notes, the classified memos. Tom Fitton in Judicial Watch will be the number 1 person. I'll take a huge backseat. When it all goes down, when Clinton eventually gets charged, I might be the only one saying she will, but it'll be because of Judicial Watch. It'll be because of Tom Fitton. Tom Fitton is a hero in all of this. Everyone should subscribe to his channel. But I listen to him all the time at Fox. And Tom Fitton will be, thank you, Parabiology 101, thank you. Tom Fitton will be the reason, one of the biggest reasons, the Clinton dynasty debacle criminal empire comes crashing down. It is crashing down right now by its own weight. But the interesting thing is that when President Obama was elected in 2008, who was the hawkish candidate regarding Russia? Well, it was John McCain. who was the person in 2012 who was against Putin? Well, it was Romney. So President Obama said, well, no, the 80s want their foreign policy back. And so you could have simply said, well, here's a dossier that says Obama, something happened in a hotel room in Moscow. And, oh, yes, well, you know what? That's why, because it was obvious he was more friendly to Russia. You can paint anyone. If there's a candidate or a nominee that has a foreign policy that's less hawkish towards China or Russia or Iran or North Korea or what, you pick a country, you can then fabricate, well, that country helped that candidate because that candidate has a less hawkish foreign policy against that country. Don't you know? Can't you see? It's so overt. It's such a stupid, overt, ridiculous way of trying to frame your political enemy. So here we have Bolton, and check this out.
Only Russia should start also looking in another direction. China, just to be clear, have you seen any credible evidence that the Chinese meddle?
Credible evidence. I love that. So when Bolton, who I'm not a fan of Bolton, but he's whatever. He's the national security advisor. I think Bolton is more of a yes man with Trump than anything else. They're like, well, look at what Bolton. Look at Trump's pick of Bolton. Well, yeah, but he hasn't engaged in any regime change. There's a difference. Hillary would pick somebody who doesn't look like a walrus, a homeless guy. I call Bolton the homeless guy walrus. But they would be more presentable and far more willing to engage in craziness. The Yahtzee won. Your grandma hacked my account. Sorry about that. The Yahtzee won. Thank you so very much. The Yahtzee won. Thank you. In Norway, thank you so very much. And I thought my grandma moved to Norway. Thank you so very, very, very much. The Yahtzee won, and HA's grandma, thank you. Yahtzee won as always. Your grandma hacked my account. Sorry about that. How's the weather in Norway right now? Let's see. It's probably nighttime or evening. But the Yahtzee won. Thank you so very, very much. And so they want credible evidence. Meanwhile, they're using the Steele dossier, which is completely fake news. There's nothing even debunked in it. It's so overtly fake news that it was not really like anything that needed to be debunked.
In our elections in the past or are doing so now. Is this a genuine national security concern?
Well, I can say definitively that it's a sufficient national security concern about Chinese meddling, Iranian meddling, and North Korean meddling that we're taking steps to try and prevent it. So it's all four of those countries, really.
But have you seen anything in the past specifically to China?
Yes. The Chinese hacked both Obama and McCain's computers.
Well, I'm not going to get into what I've seen or haven't seen, but I'm telling you, looking at 20.
Bolton is a funny guy too, because Bolton, his whole thing is like, look, I am so in tune with national security. I'm such a hawk. Don't you even dare question me. The best part is kind of like when you call their bluff, when all Democrats have been saying is national security, national security, national security, national security, national security, national security. Don't you know national security? National security. It's national security. Then you have John Bolton, who's like an actual hawk, whose like whole life is predicated upon we have to kill and we have to go ahead and engage in massive military endeavors based on national security. He flips the script on them. So it's like propaganda fail yet again for the Democratic Party. They don't know what to do. This is the thing. When you're so utterly corrupt when you're so utterly corrupt, you cheat and blame and cheat and commit crimes and cover up, and you have the media, you can't help. There is no way out. There is no avenue towards truth. Trump is genuine. He doesn't want regime changes. He doesn't want counterinsurgency wars. He has increased, certain military tactics, but he's not going to go ahead and remove Assad. He's not going to go ahead and remove. He's not going to destroy a country like Libya. That was whatchamacallit, President Obama. That's President Obama. So OJ Clinton, the best in America in one name. Oh, nice. Thanks. And so
tweeted this weekend that all of the fools that are so focused on looking only at Russia should start also looking in another direction, China. Just to be clear, have you seen any credible evidence that the Chinese meddled in our elections in the past or are doing so now? Is this a genuine national security concern?
Well, I can say definitively that it's a sufficient national security concern about Chinese meddling, Iranian meddling, and North Korean meddling that we're taking steps to try and prevent it. So it's all four of those countries, really.
But have you seen anything in the past specifically to China?
Well, I'm not going to get into what I've seen or haven't seen, but I'm telling you, looking at the 2018 election, those are the four countries that we're most concerned about.
So you have a big problem if you're the Democratic Party, because you're like, oh, we said that we were the ones who cared about national security. And what they want to do is, the Democrats, they're very interesting. They have warped. See, they're utilizing, well, they don't care about Antifa, but they're utilizing Antifa as the kind of left, abolish ICE, all that. So they have that going. They're extreme social justice wars. They have that going. But then they have the old school Republican hate Russia thing going. So they're all things at once to the latte drinking, BMW owning, liberal who wants to have a strong country, but be, great with our allies in Europe, because that is strength. That is strength. Hating Trump's tweets, shrugging shoulders when it comes to Obama destroying Libya or Clinton stealing $10 billion from Haiti. And really protecting us from, protecting this election from Facebook ads like Buff Bernie coloring books. And of course, John Brennan basically didn't. So let's just listen again, and then we'll get to Brennan.
Trump tweeted this weekend that all of the fools that are so focused on looking only at Russia should start also looking in another direction, China. Just to be clear, have you seen any credible evidence that the Chinese meddled in our elections in the past, or?
It's so obvious. You can just go ahead. Obama, China. This is The Guardian. Obama, China, McCain hacked. Obama McCain computers hacked during election. So FBI discovered cyber attacks during the summer originated in China and stole large amounts of data. This happened in 2008. And I love how the interview is like, do you have any credible evidence? Well, yeah. That's just one example. It's not just Russia, it's not just China, it's every country that can do it. And we're doing it to them, they're doing it to us. It's the way it works. Even our allies. I love when they're like, our allies. And then we know from WikiLeaks how we treat our allies. We spied on the French elections, which is one of the reasons why we need Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. They're publishers, but Assange publishes the truth. In our world, the truth gets you in jail, and lies get you political power and wealth. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. But let's listen to this again.
Trump tweeted this weekend that all of the fools that are so focused on looking only at Russia should start also looking in another direction, China. Just to be clear, have you seen any credible evidence that the Chinese meddled in our elections?
I love that. Any credible evidence? Bolton should have just said, yeah, well, there's a Steele dossier that says Chinese, two people from China urinated on Hillary. That's or Bill Clinton. Just like the Steele dossier. What's the problem? You don't like that? You don't like that, interviewer? Julian Assange, for example, should be free, and Hillary Clinton should be imprisoned. She will be charged. I don't know if she'll ever see a jail cell, but she will be charged with a crime. That's every single day. I hear and I read about Judicial Watch lawsuits. By the way, more classified emails were found. It's never ending. Every single people are losing their jobs. People are being investigated. Just go ahead, Sessions, and indict Clinton. Pick a crime, any crime. Pick a crime, any crime. Just pick a crime, any crime. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. Simply go ahead and end the insanity. So, and I don't think, like, people say, like, oh, China's the next big threat. I don't view China as a threat. I don't view Russia as a threat. The United States at this moment does not have a country that's a threat to it. There is no threatening country. Iran is not even threatening. There's no country that's a threat. If Saddam hadn't been, there wasn't regime change there, he would not have been a threat. There's no threat. We haven't had a threat since 1990 or 89, the fall of the wall. November 9th, 1989 was the last threat we had. Before then, we had a threat. After then, we did not have a threat. The Soviet Union began its fall when the Berlin Wall fell on November 9th, 1989. That was the last time this country faced an actual threat, a geopolitical threat. We do not have that anymore. We don't have any country, and I don't care. Like, what about China in the Pacific? And yeah, okay, those are about islands. Those are islands that other Asian countries have, rivalry or have issues with China. Those are national security issues to those countries, not necessarily national security issues to the United States of America. In terms of, Japan being an ally, yes, okay, fine. Or the Philippines being an ally, yes. But you can't say that there's another country in the world that has the incentive or the will or aside from countries that have nuclear weapons, but there's no national geopolitical threat that we face militarily that we haven't created in some way on our own. So I don't view China as a threat, even if the economy grows, even if their military grows, because they have their own issues to deal with. They have their own over 1 billion people. That is also a detriment in many ways. You have this. They have issues though, just like we do. So it's not like this notion that we have to worry about other countries. That is a notion that's basically stating, okay, well, we need a bigger defense budget. We need to fund this, all these intelligence agencies. They have to go ahead. They have to be around. They're relevant. They're still relevant. You don't need to create problems just to make these agencies relevant. That's why Michael Hayden and John Brennan and these former intelligence officials who were writing on behalf of Brennan They know what's going on. They know that if they just simply tell the truth about Hillary Clinton's server, like Michael Flynn did, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn told the truth. He was with Jake Tapper, and he said, this was a threat to national security. Hillary Clinton's email server was a threat to national security. You cannot have classified intelligence outside the United States government in a basement transferred from SIPRNet, JWICs, and SCIFs and other secure locations within the United States government. And General Michael Flynn, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn had courage. And I actually, when I was on MSNBC in 2016, I went ahead and I cited General Michael Flynn, his appearance on CNN with Jake Tapper. And what happened was he was then promptly set up by Peter Strzok. He was promptly set up by Peter Strzok and the FBI. And even they couldn't, they're like, oh no, he didn't lie. So they forced, like, it was Papadopoulos, then Flynn. They're like, oh, well, he lied to the FBI. The FBI was the people in charge. There's a lot of good FBI agents, a lot of great, of course. But the Strzok's of the world set up Flynn as retaliation because he told the truth about Clinton's server. You think these, like, brainiac eggheads who are like imbeciles and basically respected idiots in the quote-unquote intelligence community would have spoken out about Clinton? No, because they know there'd be a backlash. They're yes men. A lot of these people are yes men. In any organization, you have to be a yes man. Now, if you show conviction, like General Michael Flynn, and you say, hey, wait a second, what she did was criminal, illegal, and a danger to national security, then you get the retaliation. And he experienced that, General Michael Flynn, for being honorable. You think Michael Hayden went so far as to say even Clinton's what she had for lunch, her lunch schedule. Even Clinton's lunch schedule is a danger to national security if in the hands of foreign intelligence agencies. And still he's like, I prefer Clinton over Trump. So
of John Brennan. Ambassador Bolton, thanks for doing this interview with us today. I know you're heading on.
Now we get to him clowning Brennan.
Onto Geneva and Ukraine this week with lots of important issues to talk about: Russia, North Korea. But I want to start with another issue that is in the realm of national security, and that is President Trump revoking the security clearance of John Brennan. Should that have been done?
How would that be national security, though? That's what I don't get. Mike Freedom. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike Freedom. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Mike Freedom. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate everyone who supports this channel. AKA the agenda not wittingly. Not wittingly. That's James Clapper. Mike Freedom, thank you so very, very much. Thank you, everyone who supports this channel. And to my super chat, thank you. You allow me to have, this voice heard. Mike Johnston, HA, thanks for all you do. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike Johnston. Greatly, greatly appreciated, Mike. Thank you. Thank you, Mike Johnston, and thank you, Mike Freedom. Well, let's see what he says about Brennan. By the way, did you know, both Mikes and everyone here, did you know that Brennan is going to wants to sue Trump? So he wants to sue Trump, by the way. He's like, you can't take my security clearance. I'm going to sue James Madison and George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and these idiots who wrote a document that said you had that power. Article 2 of the Constitution says that you control the executive branch. and that I am part of the executive branch. In fact, I'm no longer part of any branch because I'm not even in government. But you can't take my security clearance. Don't you know I can lie under oath and have nothing done to me? Let's see what he says about Brennan.
Well, this is a decision for the president. It's something that I think was originally suggested by Senator Rand Paul, perhaps others.
Along with, the best is when you know it's troll level 1000 when they're because I love Rand Paul, but the thing is, go ahead and have a debate with Rand Paul. He's like one of those those terriers. It's like he'll get you. He's not belligerent like Trump, but he will Tarrant. He's very good at debate. So go and debate Rand Paul. He has everything on the intelligence community. O.J. Clinton, the best in America in one name. The deep state reminds me of an abuser that picks a fight with anyone who would even so much as look at their spouse. They aren't protecting us. They want to convince us that they can't think for ourselves. Exactly. Objective realist, neoconservatism has its roots in Trotskyism. Thank you. I can see that. Objective realist, thank you. O.J. Clinton, you're right. The best in America in one name. You're right. And exactly. They want to play. They're like, well, we want to abolish ICE and protect our country from Russian interference. See how moral and kind we are, yet tough when we need to be. That's the Democratic Party. You better not say anything bad about anybody, but if we go ahead and invade Libya and destroy the country, well, shrug shoulders. Shrug shoulders. And O.J. Clinton and Mike Freedom, thank you so very much. O.J. Clinton, the issue also with Democrats is that what they do is if you bring up certain things like, well, cash flow to Clinton Foundation amid the Russia uranium deal, that's the actual verbatim from the New York. Debunked! It's debunked! Well, yeah, but, pizza, Q, No, I know. You said it, man. No, I know that's craziness, but a birth certificate. I know, I don't believe that stuff, but cash flow to the Clinton Foundation in Russia, it's all a plot, all a plot. Look at Snopes. No. Snopes said that they debunked something that I'm not talking about. They said that actually Hillary Clinton sold the uranium herself and that she had full control of. Yeah, I never said that. I said that cash flow to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. Yellow Cake uranium was shipped out of the country into Canada. Bill Clinton got $500,000 speaking fee from Moscow, from a Moscow investment bank. He actually, according to Newsweek, met with Vladimir Putin at his home. These are all facts. You can't prove anything. It's all been debunked. No, you can't debunk those facts because they're facts. Well, you have no evidence that money influenced Clinton. Okay, so money flowing into the Clinton Foundation amid the Russian uranium deal. No evidence it influenced anybody. Okay, money flowing into the Clinton Foundation, and then she meets with 85 donors who gave $156 million to the Clinton Foundation. No evidence about anything. No, you cannot prove anything. That was just a coincidence. What about UBS funneling money to the Clinton Foundation and getting preferential treatment by the IRS because of Clinton? You can't prove anything. That was a coincidence. What about the UBS deal? UBS gives money to the Clinton Foundation. They get a big deal, $3 billion in Russia. That was a coincidence. What about Haiti? $10 billion just basically evaporated. That was also a coincidence, and it wasn't Bill Clinton's fault, even though he was overseeing the money. Okay. What about the Chicago commodities trader that was put on a nuclear advisory board because he was a Clinton donor? No, you have no evidence of anything. How many times? I love Sarah Carter. How many times can you say that something is a coincidence? How many times can you say that something is just happened? You can't prove anything. Meanwhile, you're using the most extreme leaps of logic with Trump. You have zero evidence. And if the quote unquote evidence was used against Clinton, you would say, oh my God. you would say, "Oh my God, oh my God, you went ahead and wrote and got a dossier full of lies about Hillary. Can you see how crazy these people are?" And then you have John O'Brien. Julian Assange should be free. Brennan and Clapper and all of them, and Clinton especially, should be in jail. Bruce Tomaszewski, HA, what are your thoughts on Dr. Ron Paul? I like Ron Paul. I think his movement is why we have Trump. Similar to the Bernie movement, grassroots party outsider. I agree with you. Well, I would say this, Bruce. I think that's a great point. I think that Ron Paul, I would say that he paved the way in a certain respect. I would say that Ron Paul and Rand Paul paved that kind of, not just like a libertarian, because I have a hard time also now kind of defining what a libertarian is. But that kind of critical thinking, that kind of anti-regime change, Mitt Romney, old school McCain foreign policy. The Republican old school foreign policy is what Democrats strive to be now. I want every American soldier, Bruce and Mike, and everyone here. This is very easy to say and very difficult for liberals and the thought police to say or convey. It's very easy to say every American soldier should be home from war with their families this Christmas, this New Year's, having dinner with their families on Christmas, on New Year's, and having the holiday season with their families and not going back to war. Bring all our soldiers home. Bring all our soldiers home from Iraq, 5,000 plus. Bring 10,000 plus from Afghanistan home. Bring them all home. Bring our soldiers home from Yemen. Bring our soldiers home from Syria. And that's it. Bring them all home. You will never get a social justice warrior to say that. You will never get a liberal or a progressive. Well, a lot of progressives will say that, but a lot of progressives won't. That is infinitely more important than single payer, because the transition from what we have now to Medicare for all could be horrendous. And you're not going to get Republicans. When people say, well, polls show that most people want Medicare for all, that is not entirely accurate. Those polls don't also ask if people's taxes would increase by $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, a year. Would you then want to go ahead and pay Medicare, or 500 or 600 or 700 or 8? Well, you're paying that for Medicare. Yeah, but you know what? You're getting a certain level of treatment. Are you going to get that level of treatment with Medicare for all? Are you going to get that level of treatment with government-run healthcare when it's 300 plus million? That's the question. Now, I could be wrong. I'm actually moving away from thinking that Medicare for all is a good, single payer is a good thing. But change my mind. Help me out. It would be nice if Ocasio-Cortez debated Ben Shapiro. Okay, I have the vantage point right now that I don't think that single payer is feasible, not just economically, but in terms of politically. The Democratic Party will crush Bernie Sanders supporters even more so than they have after they lose in the midterms, because they'll look and they're like, Green Party, we've already destroyed you. Now Bernie, no more Bernie Sanders. That's it. You've had enough. We've let you play enough. That's the Democratic Party. We've let you play around with your thoughts. No more socialism, no more Antifa, no more social justice warrior. They're gonna that whole thing's gonna, once they lose 2020, it's gonna be back to Dukakis, or no, it's gonna be back to the John Kerry mode or Michael Dukakis mode, or they're gonna try their best to be middle of the road on everything. And just bring our soldiers home. Democrats could easily win if they just said that. Be the antithesis of Trump, but you can't say that when you have Max Boot and Bill Kristol and Robert Kagan and actual neoconservatives who were the intellectual push behind Iraq and Afghanistan and all these counterinsurgency wars. Bring home American soldiers. And you simply go ahead. Well, what happens to the Afghans, the Iraqis? No, you send them more money for a third of the cost or a quarter of the cost or 1/10 of the cost of us keeping our soldiers there. We bring home our soldiers and we fund their militaries again. If they can't, it's their country. We can't stay there forever. We can't stay in Afghanistan forever. You can't stay in Iraq forever. You have to go ahead and you have to, I mean, we've trained their soldiers. We've trained them for 18 years now, or 16 years now. They have militaries. Bring our soldiers home. But you're not going to get the Democratic Party to say that, and you're not going to get Bernie to say that. The day Bernie says that is the day that they not only they cheat him again, or that they silence his voice completely. It's just, have you ever wondered? I'm going to tell you 100% why. Have you ever wondered why the push from all these groups on the left and all these pundits on the left is single payer and not bring home American soldiers? Because the Democratic Party knows single payer is impossible to achieve politically, and they don't even really care about it at all. And they know that it's like an olive branch to progressives. That they know the olive branch is just full of baloney. They will never engage in it because you don't have blue dog Democrats who will win in certain red states running on higher taxes and all that. They know it's politically not feasible. They know it's economically difficult as heck. And they know the one thing that would actually hurt donor money not be feasible in terms of a message on the Democratic side, because you have now all the John Brennan, James Clapper. Why is John Brennan and James Clapper and James Comey and Max Boot and Bill Kristol and Robert Kagan, all of them, why do they love Democrats? Because Democrats don't say bring home our soldiers for more, which is infinitely more important than single payer or anything else. More important than banning fracking, more important than breaking up too big to fail banks. Anti-war is not just hating Israel, not just talking about Yemen. Talking about Yemen is important, but then also talk about who got us in, Obama. The Democratic Party is complicit in all of this, obviously. They don't want American soldiers back. The Democratic Party does not want American soldiers back home because it is actually more militant than the Republican Party. The Republican Party will not say that either, but they won't destroy Libya. They're less hawkish, less militant. They won't remove Assad. Well, the Republican Party, because of Trump is his own political party, his own media, the only reason Republicans control both the House, both chambers of the House and the executive is because of Trump. Trump is single-handedly destroying the Democratic Party and single-handedly rejuvenating the Republican Party. If you are a McCain Republican, you're losing now. And you will never again be, thank you, Don. The only reason Republicans have control of political power now is because of Trump. The only reason. People don't say, oh, I love Republicans. They say, I love Trump's, way of doing things, the way that he just removes security clearances from Brennan, the way he calls out nonsense. The average veteran, let's see, veterans voted for Trump more so. If you go to the, okay, so why U.S. veterans voted 2-1 for Donald Trump. Okay, there you go. 2-1. So it's like U.S. veterans are generally supportive, of course. So U.S. veterans voted for Donald Trump 2-1. That doesn't, I mean, you're a hero in my book, whether you vote for Clinton or Trump or whatever, if you're a veteran. What I'm trying to say is Democrats are still, a lot of veterans don't want to go ahead and sacrifice so much and then have Andrew Cuomo saying, we've never been great. We've never been great. We've never been great. %78%. So this is town hall, the veteran vote. %78 voted. 61% of veteran voters. Donald Trump won an overwhelming 61% of veteran voters, while Clinton received only 34% of the veteran vote. So 61% of veterans. It's pretty good. And everyone go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead right now. Everyone go ahead, please. Eric H526 has great BitChute. Veteran Anarchy, Veterans for Trump. Thank you, Veteran Anarchy. Eric H526 has great great segments regarding he's a gamer. He's awesome. Check him out. Eric, feel free to go ahead and put your and share your links on here. But I'm going to go ahead also, and so 60+% of veterans voted for Trump. Brian, don't forget the creepy Strzok. Oh, that's right. You want to give Strzok a Purple Heart? Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words. It's unbelievable too, the level of manipulation. They'll it's kind of the funny thing about the manipulation is that it's overt. So it's not like they're deceiving. The Democratic Party deceives, but they do it overtly. They're like, Trump got urinated on. And everyone's like, what? Really? Are you sure about that? That makes no sense at all. Are you sure that would even happen? Does that even make any sense? Yes, it happened. It happened. So you're left with a new type of propaganda. Like the Bugs Bunny slow pitch. That was like you know, it goes like this, and like the guy's like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It's like, oh, you're left with propaganda. The name game, the name game. Let's do Mifsud, banana, banana, fana, Mifsud, the Cold Warrior. Oh my God. You have to see, I'm an old school. If Cold War, if you said that to anyone under 30, they'd be like, what does that even mean? The name game. Oh my God, Colton Mifsud. Well, what can I tell you? Elizabeth Voss broke the story that Mifsud is obviously linked to British intelligence. Has what picture with Boris Johnson? I mean, you know, it's like just go ahead and find a propaganda spin that works. Democrats, they're horrible at even propaganda. They're horrible at even propaganda. And oh wow, again? Oh no. So ex-CIA director Brennan's anti-Trump comment did damage to intel community. Of course it did. Of course it did. Admiral Mike Mullen. And you could pretty much tell the top military officials, and you know,
father is important to me.
Oh
so
Lord,
being diagnosed with advanced.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Okay, you can pretty much tell, and no disrespect to anyone who is top military official, but you can pretty much tell the military officials who are autonomous and the military officials who are like yes men. The military officials who are like, yeah, Brennan is an idiot. He's an imbecile and a buffoon. Ay, 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 Dem Rep Cohen. Ay, ay, ay. This guy, Steve Cohen of Tennessee, has got to be one the most ignorant, biggest buffoons on the planet. If I could give you a Purple Heart, I would. Oh my God. A Purple Heart for being a liar who got fired from the FBI and who covered up for Hillary Clinton, who actually went ahead. It's unbelievable. That is just unbelievable. So this is interesting. This guy's a Washington Post.
Keep them because it's honest. Zero. Let's be honest. I'm not paid for your control. The request of the U.S. government. When I am requested to sit on an advisory board,
Let me ask you one question. How much do you think I'm paid to do that at the request of the U.S. government? Give me one answer.
That's hilarious. Thank you, Sean. Wow. CNN national security analyst. He screams at a Trump supporter. An African-American man who was a Trump supporter. And Paris Denard.
And you got 10 seconds. How much?
You got 10 seconds.
I'll ask you a question. How much are you paid for your
Answer the question.
contracting gig for being a?
I have no contract with the U.S. government that pay money.
I'm not talking.
Zero.
And this is
Then you make money from the security. This guy's hilarious. It's not a matter of going, look, a security clearance is not owed to anyone. And if this guy worked under Brennan, let's just look at this guy. This is hilarious. Philip Mudd. This guy's hilarious. Oh, no. He joined the CIA in 1985. Okay. Yeah. He served under Mueller. At the establishment of the FBI's National Security Branch, the FBI director appointed Mudd. The guy served under Mueller. This is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. This is the best thing. Thank you, Sean, for letting me know. That is so funny. That is so funny. Philip Mudd served under Robert Mueller. This is the guy who's like, I didn't make any money from my clearance. That is hilarious. That is so funny. That is so funny at all. I mean, that's so funny. What does that even mean, nice at all? That is so hilarious. The guy served under Robert Mueller, and he's like, how much money did I make? You can't tell me. You can yell it all you'd like, but it's pretty stupid.
He adds Omarosa to the list because it.
One question. How much do you think I'm paid to do that at the request of the U.S. government? Give me one answer.
How about you shouldn't be paid anything? You can't be that intelligent if you're working for CNN.
You got 10 seconds. How much?
I'll ask you a question. How much are you paid for your
Answer the question.
Paris Denard totally got him.
I have no contract with the U.S. government.
I have no contract with the U.S. government. Huh? Huh? So you're stupid? Even the government's like, nah. I have no contract with the U.S. government. Okay, so then stop talking.
They pay money.
I'm not talking.
Zero.
And this is the thing.
When
I'm not talking
I've
about
asked to offer advice to the U.S. government, I
let's
get
be
paid
honest.
zero.
Phil, let's be honest.
You're not gonna keep Clapper's security clearance. It's not. This is not national security. It's a courtesy. These people are partisan. Strip the clearance. You have no reason for a partisan hack like Brennan or Clapper or anyone to have access to information that could hurt the current administration. That's not called partisanship. That's called just, if you get somebody crazed enough, I don't know, like Christopher Steele or anyone who worked with him and who was like, well, we're gonna go find a dossier who might that might hurt Trump. Forget about it. It's so stupid. No one buys your bluff. Hillary Clinton's, MSNBC, all of them.
I'm not talking about your role with the federal government. I'm talking about
who are you talking about?
That you're
Talking about General Hayden?
Consultant and a contract.
Yeah, General Hayden. Why does he need a security clearance? You do not need a security clearance. Your alleged expertise is derived from years in service. You don't need a security clearance. You're not going to forget everything that you've ever learned in life because you don't have your precious security clearance.
the consulting firms that they form and that you all get is because you get more money when having a consult for having the security clearance. Stuff like that doesn't happen.
So he's like, oh my God, I'm burned. That is incorrect. Paris Denard destroys this guy. Paris Denard destroys this guy. I have to follow Paris Denard on. I have to follow. Why? Okay, so Paris Denard, Twitter. He's amazing. Oh my God, I'm following. Oh, he's on CNN too. He's a Hill contributor. I used to be a Hill contributor.
I have zero consulting relationships with the U.S. government. Zero.
He has no. What's this guy? Philip Mudd has zero relationship at all with the U.S. government. Why do people even ask his opinion? Well, he worked for Robert Mueller. Okay, he worked for Robert Mueller. There you go. At the establishment of the FBI's National Security Branch, FBI Director Robert Mueller appointed Mudd to serve as the branch first deputy director. Okay, noted.
Talking point. I'm not talking about relationship with the government. I'm talking about in the private sector. When you have a security
I
clearance
have
and you keep
zero
it,
relationships with the private sector that involve my security clearance. Zero. I get zero.
What are you worried about? You have zero relationships with the private sector that involve your security clearance. If you put it on your CV, then you're done, done. I have zero relationships that involve my security clearance. Dude, you're missing microwave QSO contest. Papa D. Thank you, Papa D. This is so funny. This is so funny. I love these. It's like unbelievable. So
Dollars from consulting companies that deal with the U.S. government. Are we clear?
well, I will be clear in saying that everybody in Washington, D.C. knows if you don't want to be honest about it, that's on you. But if you have a security clearance and you keep it, you get more money to have it.
Get out.
True. It's not your show. So I'm saying right here. Don't be so defensive about this. Don't be so
Get out.
about this. Your voice is still here. You can still do whatever you want. But the politicalization of the intelligence community under this administration.
Get out. What kind of buffoon says get out? They're actually like they're in different cities. They're in different cities. The guy's like, get out. I'm not getting get out. What kind of? It's like you talk about unhinged.
With the people coming on here every day, tweeting and talking about this administration, you all have made it about politics. Don't want to be honest about it, that's on you. But if you have a security clearance and you keep it, you get more money to have it.
We're done.
Get out.
True. It's not your show. So I'm saying right here. Don't be so defensive about this.
25 years in this. 25 years. Okay, that's what you should fall back on, not your security clearance. You're fighting too hard. So, Sean, thank you so very much. Wow. Wow. That is so funny. That is so funny. So they're over the target. It's like, get out. He should have been like, I'm not getting out, you idiot. We're on a telecast. We're on a segment that's televised. You buffoon. This guy Philip Mudd worked for Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller is now, well, you know. And so it's like, and then ex-FBI Director Brennan's anti-Trump comments did damage to intel community. Of course. The whole point of Mueller, and then Mueller did, and Brennan did not, according to Bolton, go ahead and inform people of the threat that was faced by other countries. Denard Paris is amazing. Nobody owes anyone anything. Let's just, if Mudd's the moron. Cooper sees truth. Yes, Mudd's the moron. Who on CNN acted the most ridiculous fake cry, emotional reaction to Florida shoot? Schwarzenegger could cry more. Schwarzenegger could cry more believably. Exactly. Cooper sees truth, and everything that you've done for this country, and the sacrifice you've made, and we love you. And Philip Mudd, is he even a veteran, Philip Mudd, or is he just an intelligence community guy that never, fought in counterinsurgency or anything like that? So he joined the CIA in 1985. All right. So we're supposed to kiss his behind. So what? Was he undercover, like an undercover operative in some country? No, he was an analyst. He was an analyst. I don't kiss any analysts behind. Nobody should. I don't revere, I don't respect, just because you're an analyst, you're a government worker, you're not a veteran who, served for this country. So I predict 80% vote for Trump 2020. Thank you, Veteran Anarchy. Vets vote. Yeah, I mean, when I go to I respect veterans, and I've never been in war, and I respect Cooper C's Truth, Veteran Anarchy. I respect, everything that you and your families have gone through, and I want all Americans home. But Philip Mudd he joined the CIA in 1985. I worked at the State Department in college. I'm not asking anyone to kiss my behind. Don't you know I was a paper pusher and an analyst? It's like, okay, why would you yell at somebody on television? You did not suffer any, a great deal. You didn't make any sacrifice for this country. You're yelling. He's yelling. This guy is yelling, telling somebody to get out. Get out. Get out of the studio. I would have clowned him nicely on television. Very nicely. It would have been a beautiful moment. It would have been a beautiful moment. You don't tell somebody to get out of the studio when they're in another city. Oh my God. They're not even in the same studio. They're all in like 3 different cities. It was like 3 people all talking in 3 different, like, backgrounds. Please, Trump. And now, our daily prayer with H.A. Goodman. Please, God, give Trump the fortitude to take away all their security clearances, all of them, either one day or one every other day, to see their meltdown. It would be the best thing that ever happened, God. Thank you. First, James Clapper. Lord, have Trump take James Clapper's security clearance so Philip Mudd will then tell other people to get out of studios that are in other cities. Lord, take Sally Yates's security clearance, have Trump remove Sally Yates's security clearance, and let's see, Clapper, Yates, who else? Yeah, Susan Rice. Please, Lord, don't let Comey anywhere near a security clearance. And please have Trump keep Hillary's security clearance, because when she's drunk, she then goes ahead and who knows what. She probably puts classified info on Amazon. She's like, I'm going to buy this. Classified info, just whatever. Make it on paper. Please, Lord, do it. Help Trump get them away from the security clearances. And that's it. It'll be great, because then the Democratic Party will be like, no, they don't even know what to say. Like, ICE, abolish ICE borders. We don't know what to do anymore. Oh, security clearance. No. You can't get the security. No, we don't know. Meanwhile, I'm telling you, I'm warning all my Bernie people who I love you, who you still Bernie people. Lyle Budd. Thank you, Lyle Budd. Thank you. The material is amazing. Lyle Budd, you can't make this stuff up. The guy's like, I'm done. You leave. Leave? What are you talking about? You're in another city. This guy was like working at the CIA since 1985. I have real heroes who watch my channel. Cooper Sees Truth. Everyone, watch my channel. Like veterans, actual veterans who've been in war. Real heroes for this country. People who have sacrificed for this country. This guy works in 1985 as CIA analyst. Okay, great. What do you want? You want a cookie? You want a medal? For what? You need the 30% off beef bourguignon from the CIA lounge. Why do you even have a security clearance? You're pretty stupid too, because like if that guy was like, I don't use my security clearance for anything, then you're a dummy, because that's what it's used for, dum-dum. Make money off the clearance. Hello, that's what everyone does. You think Clapper goes on CNN because of his looks and personality? You don't like me because of my giant forehead, do you? I'm more than just a pretty face. Yeah, you look like Herman Munster's cousin. Clapper is not going to win any beauty contests. I would hope you would care about my personality. You're on CNN in part because you still have your security clearance. Okay. Why do these people need to be accessing information? They're partisan. They hate Trump with a passion. Hate Trump. Oh yeah. No. To my Bernie people, I love you. They are going to descend upon you like ravenous wolves when they lose the midterms, because they won't know. They're not going to blame themselves. So you can forget about that. They already destroyed the Green Party. The Green Party's wounded. Vern Crow, thank you, Vern. Thank you. Who can we blame? Who can we blame for Jim Jordan being speaker? Jim Jordan is like the wrestling coach. He's like, right. They're going to turn on. They're already turning on Ocasio-Cortez. The Washington Post reporters are, and that's hard to do. That is hard to do, difficult to do. Yeah, but you got to remember, though, if you're a Bernie supporter, they turn on you, and it's not going to be pretty. There's going to be bullying online. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. Same stuff I dealt with, but times a million, because they'll be so miserable and angry. It'll be like 1,000 suns. I hate you with the passion of 1,000 suns, and they'll basically blame. They'll attack and they'll blame. They'll do everything possible to now kick, and they will never talk about single payer again. Lawrence F. CIA is not allowed to be active within the U.S. That's right. It's against the law. That's right. He's taking a political stance. His taking political stance subjects him to being arrested. 100%, Lawrence F. 100%. You're 100% right. Unfortunately, the guy lied under oath. He still didn't get. It's like President Obama just allowed all of this to take place as private server lying under oath, no problems. That's why Trump, and I think that he's pulling security clearances because the boa constrictor is tightening around its victims, peaceful, political, legal sense, figuratively. And he's like, we're going to take your security clearances away. You're not going to see what's taking place. And oh, look, Clinton's going to be indicted. She will be indicted. So tell everyone you know that H.A. Goodman says that that Trump's DOJ will charge Hillary Clinton. Within Trump's first or second administration, it will happen. Tell everyone you know. And we got the genius from the CIA. Get out! I'm in another city, dum-dum. Get out! Lawrence F., you are 100% right. And Brennan doesn't realize, like, it's so hilarious, too, because he was like, I didn't say all of those bad things. Can I please have my security clearance now? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that Trump was the embodiment of evil and satanic virtues. Amish Space Force. Brennan could always get a job as a gargoyle outside of a cathedral. Pretty much, he'd scare all the other gargoyles. No guts, no glory. We're born ready. Alexander M. Gonzalez, thank you. Bernie 2020. I am Trump 2020, but thank you, Alexander M. Gonzalez. Thank you. And no guts, no glory. Cold Warrior, oh Lord, won't you buy me a declassification? My friends all have clearances. I must make amends. Exactly. So Alexander, Lawrence, Amish Space Force, thank you. Cold Warrior, thank you. Yeah, I mean, he's like, I didn't mean to say all those horrible things. Please let me have my security clearance. It is going to be so great because they've hyped it up. Look, the president controls the executive branch. That's it. And there's you can find no more patriotic person, in my view, than a veteran or than a soldier. You can find no more patriotic person. They've sacrificed. It's true, Bolton is a war hawk. I don't like Bolton. Yeah, no. I don't like Bolton. He's a war hawk, but I think that he's a yes guy. We will never. The sanctions on Iran. That's a consequence of the Iran deal, and hopefully getting them to the bargaining table. But we will never invade Iran ever. Patrick Fallon, thank you, Patrick. Thank you so very much, Patrick Fallon. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Lawrence. Patrick Fallon, as always. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. We will never invade Iran because they don't, thank God they do not have a revolution or anything like that or civil war. Unfortunately, we only engage in that type of counterinsurgency wars when the neoconservatives believe that they can go ahead and take over a country without, the country's being torn apart. It's not like that in Iran. We will never invade Iran. We don't have, and no, there's no country in the world that can station thousands of soldiers in Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan. Be impossible. We'd be spread. We're already spread too thin, but we'd be spread way too thin, and that would be. We would have yet another counterinsurgency war. It would be horrendous. We would never, ever, 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 ever do that. But I mean, I'm not a fan of John Bolton. I call him the homeless walrus, or to be politically correct, the walrus. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all. I'm going to go ahead and be back today. We'll be back in a little while. I want to thank you all for your support to the super chat. Thank you so very, very much. This has been an awesome live stream. We approached 1,000. And God bless. I will see you to my super chat. Thank you again. Patrick, everyone. Cooper Sees Truth, everyone. Michael, thank you so very much. And I'll see you very soon. Thank you again.